Dave, can you give us an update on Hyman and then Keith Smith's availability?
Hyman is day-to-day, better response than we thought coming out of the other night, so he's not been ruled out of tomorrow night yet, but he didn't skate today. Smith still day-to-day. He won't be a player tomorrow, but he's inching closer. Duncan Keith had his first full good practice today. If things go well, he could possibly be a player tomorrow night. We'll see where he's at in the morning. Cuckoo first practice with us in a while, which was a good sign. So we went from no defensemen to a plethora of defensemen out there at practice today. So hopefully it's a good sign of things to come.
Dave, is it normal when you're struggling just to change the lines up? Is that coach's manual? Well, I know Hyman's hurt, but you changed a lot of other people.
Times is hurt. We've been tinkering a little bit here, but you're looking at some different things here right now. Hyman still is a possibility tomorrow, so it could go back to the same it was tomorrow.
And I asked the other day about Yamamoto. We get no shots again on Saturday. Why is he getting no shots?
Well, he makes a lot of plays to other people. I'd like to see him shoot more or find opportunities to shoot more, get to the net a little more, but he hasn't. He's got a great shooting percentage. He just doesn't shoot it enough. You know, his shooting percentage is high, but his opportunities are low, which is it's concerning. He's got to try to find some more opportunities at the net.
You know, that's a game that Hyman would love to play in. Is he one of those guys that you gotta, you know, at times protect from himself in certain situations because you know he'll do anything to get in there?
Probably, yeah. We'll see where he is in the morning, but he came in yesterday morning and was feeling much better than he anticipated he would. So, and today was another step forward. So I'm not, you know, we're not. He didn't want to be counted out yet, but we'll certainly be careful with him.
It looked like today's practice, just lots of line rushes and guys with the puck on their stick a lot. Is that part of wanting to just put some speed back in it?
Yeah, it's exactly it. You're just trying to get up and going here. We've been, you know, some of these games we've been bringing a lot of trouble on ourselves with execution. We want to just try to get people up and down the ice, get them feeling the puck, try to build some confidence back in our game.
Dave, in your opinion, what separates the real elite players in this league, like the guys you've got and the guys coming in tomorrow night, from the tier below them? What is it that separates them from the pack?
Well, the elite players, they find ways to have an impact on the game, and you know, there's been elite players in the game that it seems like they hover around and all of a sudden, bang, they have an impact. You know, the pure scorers. Then you have players like McDavid, Matthews, Draisaitl. They're involved in a lot of parts of the game. They touch the puck a lot, so they have opportunities to have an impact on the game. But if you look at just the pure impact of when those players have the puck on their stick, the plays that they make, whether it's a shot, you know, something to set somebody up or create an opportunity, whether it's even strength or power play, they're the ones that get the biggest, highest percentage of those plays made and ultimately has the biggest difference on the game. And that's those elite players. Somehow the puck follows them around and they get more opportunities to affect the game. That's what makes them elite.
5 goals in your last 4 games. So, I mean, it's not rocket science. You mix some lines around, guys coming in, guys coming out. Are there some tricks in the coach's handbook here? Or
well, there's lots of things we've been talking about trying to, you want to score, obviously, and we always talk about, you know, we got to score hard goals. Well, we'll score nice goals and hard goals, rush goals. We'll bring them all on right now, you know. But we've tried to have a mindset in the last 3 games. We've had lots of attempts, lots of pucks going at the net, and nothing finding its way in. So you got to keep some of that. Now, that being said, there's opportunities. Like if you look at, we have 5 or 6, I would call grade A opportunities, with some with open nets and missed the net or hit a foot or something like that. So there's times when you just, as much as you feel like you want to hammer the thing in the back of the net, it's not going in for you. That's where we've been at the last 3 games a little bit. So you got to stay with it. That's what we talked about in practice today. You got to stay with it. Go to the net hard, finish hard. It starts out there, and then hopefully that translates in the game.
Thank you.
Can a coach teach players to score?
They can help them with confidence, but players' skill set, abilities, a lot of times dictates the score. But there's different kinds of skill set. You can have a guy that's hard in front of the net, can deflect a lot of pucks, and then you got your pure shooters. You got your guys that they shoot the puck quick. They catch goalies off guard. And then you got defensemen that can find a way that no matter what, they find a way to get that puck down around the net. Some defensemen will bury their head and hope it goes down there. You have players like Nick Lidstrom who could seem like he'd thread a needle down there. So there's different areas. Every player is different a little bit, but you can encourage players to use their strengths to score and put them positioned to score. But ultimately, they're the ones that got to put it in the back of the net.
So in the NHL, I mean, all these players before they got to the NHL were probably scorers, but there's a God-given ability to be Brett Hull or Mike Bossy or Mario, whoever in today's game, Gunsel or Connor or somebody like that. They just get a chance and bang, it's on the net. So you're not teaching them, that they just have that ability to score.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have players that have more ability to score than other players, goes without saying. But you're right, there's a lot of players come up, they score, but as you move up the food chain here, the competition gets harder and harder, and it gets harder to score, and it takes some of those players that were good young scorers, myself included in that. I thought I was a big scorer in junior, and I got to the NHL, and I was in the check-in role pretty quick. So you get to certain levels that, some people continue to elevate those levels. Other people find different roles because the scoring doesn't come as easily as it did in the past.
Did the coaches try and fill you with confidence back then, too?
They were trying. I was probably blaming the coach then, too. Wouldn't give me enough ice time or something.
I don't know if you'll humor me on this, but when you're in the middle of a losing streak like this, how do you approach the negative feedback versus the positive reinforcement? And if you were to ballpark a percentage in terms of the tone you're setting, what would it look like for you, Dave?
Well, you have to correct some issues, and some of our issues right now, I feel like we're bringing on ourselves. There's I have a saying I use all the time: every play counts. So there's simple plays that just aren't getting made, or where it's a play that should be a play allow us to flow the game the right way, and we're bobbling pucks or missing a guy. So you have to address some of that. Like, every play has to count, but ultimately there's some things in the game that we like that we're doing, and so you have to continue to push that. So it ends up being like a 50-50 balance. A lot of times there's some structure stuff you have to clean up. Individual stuff you clean up with individuals a lot of times. If you don't like the way a guy's doing something, there's a lot of individual talk that you clean up some of that. But team structural stuff you have to look at, and a lot of times it's not negative. It's matter of fact. This is how we want to do it. So it's you try to build confidence all the time, but there's some mistakes that are hurting us. The coach doesn't have to go there and show that a puck bounced off the wall bad and was a bad bounce for us. Everybody knows what that happened. We're trying to get solutions here, not just dwell on the problems.
David, looked like in practice, Fogle and Cassian were up in your top six. You had Fogle with Nugent Hopkins. You played them a little bit last game. Mm-hmm. What do you feel those two can maybe add if that's what you have to go with without Hyman?
We feel like Fogle's had good energy here. He's been around the net for a few games, and then because of Hyman out, we moved him up today just to have a look there. Cass has been in and out of that a little bit. He's got the ability to score. Maybe Yamo, we're trying to find him some more juice. Played him with McLeod today just to see. But until Hyman comes back, we're not settled on anything yet. Today we were going to do lots of line rushes, so we just wanted to see.
And you had talked earlier, or last game, about how you needed your defenseman to move the puck up quicker and be more effective. Before he got injured, Keith was leading your team in completed passes out of the D zone. How much is his presence just in moving the puck going to help you?
Well, it'll help. It'll help. He moves it, not just as he moves it, he moves it quick and hard. And that's, that's an area to get your game moving the right direction. Feel like you're a fast team. It starts in your own end. You got to make good plays on your own end. There's regroups. If you let a team get in their structure all the time with moving the puck slow, then it's harder to get through them. If you move a lot of quick up stuff, if you find people before they're in their structure, you can have an impact. You can move the puck a lot quicker. So that's an area that Duncan Keith's been strong at his whole career, and if he comes back, he'll help us in that area.
Dave, I just wonder, Connor and Leon are so important to this team offensively. I think everyone knows that. In the last few games, though, they've dropped down to merely like a point a game rather than, 2 or 3 or what have you. I just wonder what that does to the guys within the room. Is there a kind of a noticeable kind of feeling when maybe Leon and Connor aren't producing the way they have
No.
in the dresser?
They're dropping down from 2 points a game to 1 point a game? No, isn't that? Nobody's saying, come on, Connor, you got to score more. They're saying, come on, we're going to help you, Connor. That's inconsequential. All right, thanks.
Or Mike Smith or?
He won't be a player tomorrow, but he's closer. All right.